I'm not precious about my gear. I am a pro shooter, so naturally I look after my gear. But I'm willing to put it in harm's way more than most amateurs would, since it might just help me to get the shot my client needs, or quite honestly that I want. Recently I went to a beach in Cape Town called Camps Bay, and if you know anything about Cape Town, you know that the climatic conditions is unpredictable. It can literally vary from suburb to suburb, all depending on which side of that mountainous outcrop called Table Mountain you are on. And also it's right next to the Atlantic Ocean on a cape that protrudes into the Atlantic Ocean, so we get winds from all sides and it can get quite hairy at times. This is exactly what happened when I headed out to the beach the other day for a small excursion. This is not a film photography shoot. I took my digital camera out and I just wanted to have some fun with it. So I didn't take silly chances, but the thing is, Cape Town winds can be so extreme that you can blow over, and I was on a breakwater that's not too wide, so there was some risk, but it's nothing to write home about. And I think it turned out fun. But let's have a look at what it was like down there. It's windy in Cape Town. Absolute gale force winds, but it's also very, very beautiful. Trying to hold on to my camera to get these shots. Not easy. Let's kick it off with a very calm image, not showing any of the wind, but there you can see that wind just throwing up so much spray. You'll notice there's a difference in the way that the shot looks. That's because I moved my Lee graduated neutral density filter up and down, and as the clouds moved in front of the sun and away from it, and as it got later, the light temperature would change. So I don't generally do an adjustment on saturation. I do add a warm-up filter in Photoshop sometimes. That image actually didn't have a warm-up filter. Yeah, this is in my head how I remember this scene. But let's look at the image from raw to the end. So this is how it would come from camera. I do a conversion, I bring it into Photoshop slightly lighter than the final product. I add a warm-up photo filter, I do a bit of vignetting, and then sometimes I do a black and white conversion as well. Must be honest, often I go back to the original outer camera version of the image, and then some days I prefer the much more edited version of the image. But here is my favorite shot of the day, and believe it or not, it's actually in black and white. On this channel you might find me speaking about film cameras and things more, but I shoot day to day. I shoot digital mirrorless cameras for a living, and for this particular outing I used my Canon R, and I actually really like this camera as a stills camera. I mean, it works well as a B or a C mirrorless video camera as well, but it gives me a nice large file, obviously not as big as the R5, but a 30 megapixel file, which is, I find, really cool. And unless you're shooting really extreme low light situations where I would maybe rather use my R6, generally it handles color and things very well. I used my 16 to 35 EF F2.8, but the Mark II version, which I still brought over from my 5D Mark IV days, and I love this lens. I haven't seen any real compelling reason to upgrade, apart from maybe the stabilization that you get with the R6 body, with the extra stabilization, and then my Canon EFR adapter. In terms of accessories, what I use is this Leofoto system. It's a very well-known system. So basically it comes with your, first off, the adapter ring that goes on the front of the lens, and then you have the filter holder, and I have the grad set of 3 filters, and on this particular day I was using this one. And it is, like you can see, I haven't cleaned it since the shoot. It's actually quite, what's the word? Misty because of the ocean air. And this is the 9ND Grad Soft. The Lee 9ND Grad Soft. And it's a 10x17 size. You have your different variations, and they all need a bit of a wipe down after my excursion. I haven't done that yet. There you go. And I really like the Lee system. It's not cheap, but it's really worked well for me. I even have a matte box system from Lee that screws onto the filter thread of your lens, which is really great. And then in terms of my stabilization, I use the Leofoto Ranger LS 324C legs. I generally don't remember my tripod specs. And the head is a Leofoto LH40. A little ball head. Personally, I prefer three-way adjustments. I'm not always crazy about a ball head, but this one works really well. It's a carbon fiber tripod, so it's really great if you walk around with it. It being so light, I literally had to hang onto the camera with that wind blowing, because it's, I mean, by sheer virtue of its weight, you know, the wind could take it. Not because it's not sturdy, because it's really sturdy. But when the wind is blowing something this light, it can blow away. So as I was taking the pictures, I had to hang on to the camera and to the tripod. Also, all the images I shot with 2-second self-timer delay, just so I don't have any shake on my fingers. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the images, and I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'll have some links below to some of the gear that I used, and if you buy it, I get a bit of a kickback. And yeah, thanks for checking it out. Press like, subscribe, and comment, and you know, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.